Good evening, everybody, and very, very warm welcome to this very exciting and interesting webinar today. And Alex, thank you for doing this for us, and very, very warm welcome to a CTT platform as well. So post-to transformation, we use an abbreviation CTT, much easier to pronounce. Yeah. So friends, let me introduce you to Alex. Alex is located in Spain, and he is a PhD, a certified coach, and a certified master trainer. He's an entrepreneur since 30 years. He started his own businesses in Russia, Sweden, Brazil, Switzerland, and finally Spain with coaching and training. He's the founder and CEO of Headway Coaching Group in Barcelona. He's been a speaker at various conferences. He believes he's got 2 PhDs in his life. One is in theoretical nuclear physics, and the second one is dealing with uncertainty and making changes. And he believes that he values the second one much more. We will ask him why so as we talk further with him in this conversation today. And with this, Alex, I hand over to you. But before I hand over to you, announcement again, this webinar is entitled for CCU. So you will receive a link in the chat box. Kindly fill up the form and submit within 24 hours, and we will issue you the CCUs at the end of this year. Any questions? Please feel free to raise your hand, or you can type in the Q&A or chat box. Yeah, so with this, over to you, Alex.
Thank you very much, Maria. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I'm grateful for the opportunity to actually share my experiences. And I believe I accumulated a little bit of knowledge in the area of starting up your business, especially coaching business, because that was my specialization. And thank you for introduction. Well, actually now I can easily skip several slides of my presentation because, yeah, usually that's where I'm talking a little bit about myself. But yeah, I will probably do it quickly. Let me share my screen and we will jump into the presentation. As I understand, we have approximately 40 minutes to, to go through the presentation. And after that, I will be happy to take questions. And if you have some questions, I would be happy to answer. Well, sometimes I will be switching camera on and off, so please do not pay attention to that. I think presentation is on the screen. I hope everyone can see it. Well, I did PhD, yeah, that's true, theoretical nuclear physics. That was times when I was still in Soviet Union, and after Soviet Union collapsed, it happened to be that I started, I moved to business. So from science to business was quite a interesting, I would say, unusual shift in my career, and also without any plan. It happened to be that I worked 7 years in Sweden, then I moved to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I opened company there, working with the Petroleum Brasileiro, with a big company there. And 8 years later, I moved to Switzerland, and 15 years I was trading stocks and portfolio management, asset management, financial services. So that was my nature of my business. And in 2004-05, I think I actually hit my middle age crisis. And as a result, I lost kind of idea why I am sitting in front of computer and making some numbers grow. I lost passion for that. And it took me a couple of years to find direction which totally aligned with my values. And coaching and training, that was my discovery. So since then, I am pretty much kind of in that direction. And in the last 12 years, after my graduation, I set up a business school for coaches. And by the way, the topic today's presentation will be and is how you would be able to move from being certified coach, just graduated and having actually taste for your new profession, to real business and become business owner. And that's pretty much what happened kind of with me when I shifted to from science to entrepreneur to business owner. And along this way, in the last 12 years, I grew also as a coach, because as you probably know, there are a number of credential bodies, credential organizations in the coaching industry, and ICF, International Coach Federation, one of the kind of the most respectful one and quite a big one. So I became master certified coach, and right now I'm helping coaches not just to grow professionally, but also kind of help them with the mentoring, with the growing in their business and profession in the parallel. So jumping into the presentation, we will be talking about actually the process. Working with the, I think right now we have through Business School for Coaches, which is Headway Coaching Group is all about. Right now, around 600 people already graduated. It means that 600 businesses already started. So I do have some, I would say, statistical kind of pattern. And when we are talking about difficulties which coaches have, I would say I already extracted, I call it number one problem, which usually coaches meet as soon as they start thinking about their coaching business. And let me just dive into that. Coaching one problem is, I call it 1/2, and I explain why. Because what happens immediately after you graduated from coaching course is, okay, now I have a certificate, now I am good, or maybe I'm much better already in my craft. But what I don't understand is, I understand actually nothing about how to attract clients, how to find clients, how to convert potential client into the real, or how I can position myself. Do I need to position myself? How to make all my business in such a way that all the processes and finding clients become automated processes? So all those questions usually people have, and I would say the answer to those questions is very, very far from simple. Now the screen, this is how your business supposed to look like when everything works. And to be honest, it's overwhelming. I mean, when you look what you're supposed to do as a business owner, you understand that being a good coach, it's just one essential, but totally not enough kind of type of piece of the puzzle. You need to have another elements. It's almost like business is almost like a watch. And you are a good coach, good professional. It's just one tiny small, piece of that watch. So what you have to do, actually, there are lots of things you need to have a knowledge about, marketing, about sales, about so many things. Right now on the screen, you could see stuff which you're supposed to learn if you want to do everything on your own. So having knowledge and be a good coach, and having knowledge about developing business and be good at developing business, those are two different bodies of knowledge. And this is, I would like to point out, because the quicker you embrace that fact, the faster you could move and create coaching business. So unfortunately, people who say in their heads that, oh, I invested already enough time and enough money into the coaching, I already have certificate, now I don't need anything. Well, that would be a difficult attitude, because unfortunately, coaching business is supposed to include another piece of knowledge, which you're supposed to spend your time, your energy, and in many cases, actually money. And it's unavoidable. So some kind of, the quicker you realize that, well, there are some pieces which I need to learn, and I need to spend energy and time with that, or maybe collaborate with some other people who are good and have knowledge about those things, or maybe find some, I don't know, school who will help you along the way. The quicker you embrace it, the faster you will be able to do actually good in terms of coaching business development. So what is the number one problem? As I said, it's confusion. And you look at the screen, you understand why confusion. And this is the bad news. But I have a good news. The good news is that even though it looks really complicated, even though you see that you need to learn lots of things, but fortunately, the journey to creating your coaching business, it's actually sequential. Actually, you don't need to do and learn all those things at the same time. So the normal kind of road to paralysis and failure, if you are trying to do all of those things at the same time. And that's why in the beginning I said the problem 1/2, because one, it's I would say, when people see what they need to do, they have one reaction. Reaction is paralysis. Other people have another reaction. I'm going to show you how other people react on that multiple pieces which they need to learn. They switch into the different mode. I call it shiny object syndrome, meaning they are actually, it's a high energy people. They are maybe not confused. They say, okay, I'm gonna do it, and they jump to one piece, and they jump to another piece, and they learn something about social media, and they found some another how to send the emails. So, and they took a workshop here, workshop there, and that's what I call shiny object syndrome, because this is their way to deal with complexity. They are trying multiple different pieces from different sources. Guys, I would like to tell you that maybe it is kind of better than paralysis, but result is pretty much the same. It's not going to work. Usually it's not working. And the reason is that in order to make a watch work, all elements supposed to be fitting with each other, communicating with each other. It's supposed to be one unit where every element designed to work with other elements. So this is right now I am kind of presenting you kind of my advice. Please try to find the place where you could learn all necessary steps, all necessary pieces in your coaching business in one place. Jumping from one workshop and picking up one piece of information and trying later to combine it with something else which you learned in another place. This is really tricky. It's almost like you are trying to collect the watch where every piece you bought in some different shop. I mean, yeah, it's kind of something might work, something might not work. So shiny object syndrome is a huge problem. And my advice, before you jump to any new workshop or any new program, which is, just remember that is this program is going to solve all things which I need to do. Because if it's just solving one tiny small piece, please consider some other options. Find the place where you could have all, all elements of the future building to be able kind of to learn it in one place, because it's supposed to be designed and work together. And that's what, to be honest, when I was creating Headway Coaching Group, I had that kind of mission. After 30 years of entrepreneurship and after 30 years of starting businesses, I know one kind of simple thing, and that thing is right now on your screen. The building of business supposed to be constructed sequentially. There is a sequence of steps. And this is the beauty, because every single step are relatively simple. There is no, it's not a rocket science, but you cannot make 5th or 6th or 10th steps unless you've done the previous ones. I will give you specificity. Well, very often potential clients or coaches are coming to me, and I explain them, what we need to do, what steps they need, and they say, no. I don't need that kind of whole body of business building. I just need a website. And that's, and it usually took me, it takes me quite a while to explain that, well, if right now you will try to do a website right now, without making previous 9 steps, your website will be, I can tell you what your website will look like. Your website will look like exactly the same as 20, I don't know, 200,000 of other websites which coaches are building without knowledge how business is supposed to be created. All those websites are trying to target everyone, trying to sell coaching hours, trying to practically sell coaching hours and sell happiness to everyone. This is what normally coaches do, when they don't have understanding how business really works. So what is the foundation? The foundation when you start building your business, your coaching business, is quite simple. Let me just show the road which I created, because the whole process is very quickly kind of designed. So let me just go back a little bit and show you. This is I call it coaching business roadmap. Well, a roadmap, there are 7 big steps. I call it 7 levels. And inside of every level, every big step, there are some tiny small steps inside. So as a result, you could say there are 33 steps towards full completion, or there are 7 big steps. And right now, yeah, I know that I have just 40 minutes, so I will be a little bit kind of, fast, kind of going through a number of steps. And maybe I will not be able to cover them all, but you could always go to, to certain links. I will share my links, and you could just see on the screen precisely kind of all roadmap. It's not on headwaycoachinggroup.com. You could just click on a coaching business and you will see this particular roadmap in details. And let me just jump quickly to step number 1. Step number 1, I would say big frame. You're supposed to have kind of understanding what will be my business model. You could say, what is it, business model? Well, right now we are diving into the smaller chunks. Well, business model, when it's actually structure. It's actually essential elements which you're supposed to think through before you move any further. I will explain what are they. For example, you're supposed to have an understanding who I will be targeting. What kind of people will be my target audience? And usually, right now, when I just pronounce it, probably some of you are already thinking, why would I narrow my clientele to some particular specific people? I am a coach, and the coaching, methodology can allow me to coach anyone. And I practically could help people in any direction. And this is the classical thinking, which I am kind of dealing already for 12 years, because coaches very often after graduation, at least in the past, right now it's actually getting a little bit better, but in the previous 10 years, I would say coaches are having illusion that they could coach anyone about anything and that will be success, and coaching methodology allow them. And please understand me, I am MCC ICF coach. Actually, I agree. Coaching methodology really quite unique, and using the coaching tools, especially kind of in my case, I'm an NLP coach, so I have a really powerful kind of set of tools. You could coach practically anyone in any direction. The problem is that this is good and this is correct, and maybe you know it, but the problem is that when with that knowledge you're entering into the market, your clients they don't know it and they don't care. That's the problem. The problem is that market operates according to the different laws, and the laws of the market are really simple. On the market, the person who wants to buy, that person has a problem, and the problem is always specific. So, for example, I'm gonna just simplify things. I have let's say I have a toothache, and this is my problem, and I'm looking for someone who actually resolve I'm looking for someone who resolve and help me to deal and remove my toothache. And what I see, like I'm searching for in a certain particular way, because I'm searching for someone who is specializing and who is from their website, they're talking about, toothache. And unfortunately, when I come across someone who is talking about methodology, who is talking about that, yes, I am this and this, and I can treat any disease. I am holistic, and I said, okay, well, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I probably better go for someone who is actually treating toothache. That's what I call mismatch. So majority of coaches, because they have that passion for coaching methodologies, they believe that they could serve anyone. As a result, they're targeting no one. They're not able to talk about any specific problem, because eventually they start talking about whatever problem you have in your life, I will help you. Well, this is the appeal to no one. Because if I do have a toothache, those words for me, I mean, they're not resonating. I need words about toothache. Those words will resonate. So as you can see that even though maybe you are right, but very often in business, I ask myself a question, would you like to be right? Or would you like to have a business? This is the funny kind of question. But in this case, if you prefer to target everyone, if you prefer to say that, yes, I don't need a niche, I don't need to solve any particular problem, I'm not going to target any particular people, then you are violating the market laws. And it's just not going to work, even though you are right. So you've been in a situation that, yes, you are right, but unfortunately you are poor. So choose. I mean, and that's what I'm kind of dealing with in my business school, because as soon as you say, okay, let's say I will start working with this particular category of people. I actually like working with the, I don't know, young people, or I like working with the senior people who are in a certain particular role in the company, or I like, to be honest, there is a very specific process which I designed. And this is one of the steps, how you could define your coaching niche and choose the right one. Because to be honest, there is a process which would allow you to choose the right one for you. And I actually went through the same process when I was designing my business. I asked myself a number of questions. And as a result, that particular coaching business roadmap, which right now I am sharing with you, every single step has a template. And inside of the template, you're supposed to answer, I don't know, sometimes 10, sometimes 50 questions. And those questions will help you to shape. So when I was going through that process, in my case, I was thinking, well, what kind of experience do I have? Well, I have 30 years of entrepreneurial experience. The question is, do I need to use it? Is it wise to use my 30 years of experience when I'm thinking certain particular specific coaching business? Of course it is. It gives me enormous competitive advantage. If someone would like to, I don't know, if someone wants, for example, to, I don't know, copy my business, or they would like to enter into the same business as I am, well, I am so much more superior. Why? I have enormous competitive advantage. I have 30 years of entrepreneurial experience. If some young guy, 22 years old would like to do the same, well, I have a much higher credibility, right? So that's what I mean by when you are choosing where actually I have already competitive advantage. Obviously, in areas where you spend, I don't know, 10, 20, whatever years of working already. So you know certain particular clientele already very well because of your life experience. Maybe you lived in certain countries. Maybe you were exposed to certain cultures. Maybe. So as a result, if you go through the template of choosing your coaching niche, eventually, answering those questions, you will realize that, after I answered all those questions, now I see that if I choose this direction, I already have a serious advantage to any other coach. If you don't do this, if you just say, yeah, I'm gonna, no matter what I did in my past, I'm gonna coach executives. Well, this is really, really, really bad decision. Even though it sounds like maybe sometimes like a wise decision. Lots of coaches, they're trying to make decisions based on the assumption that where the money is. Well, unfortunately, it's just one of many, many factors which will make or may not make your business successful. Because you cannot just say, yeah, I'm going to choose this because money is there. Well, you need to have passion for that. If you don't have experience, you try to approach kind of chief executive level of clients, they will spot you. They will figure it out that you have no idea what they are going through. They will see you 1 kilometer kind of distance that you are not one of them. So like you need to be like very strategic in which area you are entering when you are developing your business. And if you go through the very specific process of how to make right decisions, I think you will be on the right track. And every single step in the business building process is supposed to be strategic. And choosing your niche, it's one of the first ones. And also, usually coaches have a little bit of resistance of going narrow, because after you chose your avatar, as you can see, then you're supposed to decide, okay, I'm working with this type of people, but what specific problem I will be solving or I will be specializing? Again, why we are asking those questions? In order to become more and more narrow. This is kind of counterintuitive. Going more narrow, you think I'm losing other options. Well, yes, you are right now. In the future, by the way, you could offer and entering in other niches, but right now, the more specific you are, the faster and quicker and the easier you will find clients. Sounds like counterintuitive, but it is actually true. And if it would be a little bit more interactive kind of webinar, I would ask you, could you please tell me, why do you think going narrow, really narrow, will increase your chances to have business faster? I'm just giving you to brainstorm and answer this question. I will give you 30 seconds. I'm going to repeat it. Why do you think choosing your niche and going narrow, not just with the target audience, but also with the type of problems which you're solving, and going really precise with your coaching offers, actually increasing how fast you will be in business and actually improving your success?
You can put your answers in the chat box.
Please. And even though right now I will not be kind of answering and reading those answers, but it's good kind of exercise for you to think, what do you think, why it is? Because it's not really, I would say, kind of common knowledge, because I over the years, I met quite a lot of resistance among coaches, because they have a feeling that they are, by narrowing their target audience, they are losing businesses. And okay, right now I will tell you kind of what I learned over the years regarding this. Well, by going narrow, by choosing your problem and choosing your particular target audience, the magic happens. Why? Because now you can communicate precisely about specific issue and pain point which your client has, and you could use specific language which your client resonate with. The communication makes a huge difference. As soon as you go broader, as soon as you're trying to combine 5 different issues, or as soon as you try to cover bigger people, then you're not going to be able to have the same language or talk about specific problem. You are getting more broader, more vague, and impact of your communication immediately kind of diffusing. It goes just not as impactful. So I would say the answer to my question is that because of the specificity, because of the language which you use, because of the precision of your communication. On your website, you will be targeting precise type of people, talking literally about their problem and using their language. And that's where the magic comes. When people open in your website, in 3 seconds, they understand, whoops, that's for me. As soon as you go general, as soon as you're talking about happiness, well, it's like everyone wants happiness, but actually people are coming, you know, with when they are searching for in the market, kind of they are searching for a resolution of their kind of tiny specific problem, and that's what they're reading. And the promises of happiness, it's just shooting kind of in the air. They're not resonating. And this is my experience after, I don't know, many years of being in business. So as a result, I deliberately right now spend kind of lots of time on the first step. As you can see, customer avatar, understanding who you are targeting. You're understanding what problem you're going to be solving. You are defining what resources do you need, what will be your core offer. There are lots of nuances kind of in every single piece of this foundational step. I call it designing and creating your business coaching model. We are working on a business model. Some things are still not clear. There is a high level of uncertainty in certain particular areas, and this is totally okay, because there are multiple steps ahead, and eventually you will be getting back to this document, which we call it business model canvas, and you will be kind of defining it, I would say, with a higher and higher precision. So this is as soon as you move through this particular kind of process of designing your business model, then the situation is getting much better, because after that you could go to the next steps, and next steps will be, now after I understand who am I targeting, I need actually to design my offering in such a way that it will be really tangible. I mean, this is another majority of coaches, like some kind of trap for coaches, because what they think they sell coaching hours. And guys, I just want to tell you straightforward, coaching hours is not a product. And no one, maybe apart from some corporate people who are already very familiar and they're looking for coaches, and they could talk about coaching hours, but no one, in terms of individuals, no one in the market are searching to buy coaching hours. It's not interesting. I don't need coaching hours. I'm talking kind of metaphorically, I need to remove my toothache. I don't need your hours. And that's what like an ordinary normal kind of coaching websites, you know, I sell 10 hours of coaching, 20 hours of coaching. This is not working, because you need to actually redesign your coaching offer in such a way that it will make sense to the client. So it's supposed to look like a product. It's supposed to feel like a product. It's supposed to have some kind of specific features which products have. You know, products, they have features of, they are tangible. Of course, in this case, we are not selling toothpaste or vacuum cleaner. It's still kind of invisible. But you could check the way, for example, I did it if you visit headwaycoachinggroup.com, and you will see the roadmap. You see, I created steps. Every step has a template. Template can be downloaded. There is a structure. So why did I do that? Well, I've done it in order to make my offer as tangible as possible, because now my offer has a duration, it has a steps, it has pieces to download, so even though behind all those things, there are lots of coaching will be done, but I am not selling coaching. In this case, right now, you're hearing my presentation. What am I selling really? I am selling solution to your problem. Your problem is, I would like to have a thriving coaching business. So here, my solution. If you're entering into the program, which has a certain particular steps, certain defined process, you will resolve your problem. This is that's how like I would say vague like an air-like offer can become a really tangible. That's how you increase credibility, because your clients immediately see you as an expert who has a process, who knows the steps. And this is one of the ways how you can turn, I call it, your coaching services offer into the tangible product. And this is immediately increasing probability of conversion for your potential clients. And as you can see, this is just step number 2, turning your coaching offer into something tangible. And now you know the problem. Now you know your customer avatar. Now you know what language they use. And after that, level number 3, now you're ready to create your website. Finally, you already know the language, you know the imagery, you know what your core offer is, you know who you are targeting, you know everything. Now you are ready to create a website. Imagine if you would try to create a website without those previous elements. It's completely impossible. It's just impossible. And so this is the, because of our short time, I'm very much aware that we have probably 2 minutes or a few minutes left. And right now I just kind of touched 2 big steps out of 7. But if you, like, next one will be, you see, creating level number 3, creating your website. And your website, again, it's supposed to be machine. The whole idea of, from the beginning, when I just graduated from my coaching course, I was thinking, well, at that time I was traveling between Brazil and Switzerland, and I was always kind of on the go. And I was thinking, how can I avoid to be locked in some kind of local? I don't have opportunity to be local. I need to go online. So from the beginning, I was creating online business. And from the beginning, I was thinking, well, I do need to scale my time. I don't want to sell my time. I want to multiply myself and remove myself from as many processes as possible. So for example, the website idea, unfortunately, majority of coaches, they have a website almost like some kind of web business card. I believe website supposed to attract and convert your clients. Website supposed to automate all conversion process. You are not supposed to be involved at all. After your website is done, the people are finding you through, I don't know, there are lots of ways, multiple social media, or which actually also automated. They'll go to your website, you bounce inside of website, you bounce them, from one article to another kind of video and eventually the website actually do the whole conversion process. So people are supposed to stick with that website. They're supposed to sign up. They're supposed to start kind of receiving value already. Website supposed to be designed as a machine which attracts and converts your client. And this is not easy thing to do. It's not a business card. It's actually have a kind of complexity in it, because first it's supposed to be kind of free offer. They're supposed to download. They're supposed to like what they download. After they digest it, they're supposed to be interested to go for more. And you're supposed to create something which excites them and something which they would be paying a little bit, but already paying. There is a psychological process going on. And your website is supposed to be designed with that intention in mind. It's supposed to be done professionally, not just from design point of view, but from functionality point of view. So this is inside of that website level, there are 6 templates, and there are multiple steps need to be done. So I think I'm right now kind of making my presentation already to the end, because there is no need to go for the all steps. You are free to visit headwaycoachinggroup.com and just click on a coaching business and you will see all 7 levels, all templates, everything is there. So you could take a look and see how the whole business kind of need to be designed. And yeah, this is pretty much all. I just gonna probably stop presentation for a second, because step by step, 33 steps explanation would probably take me a couple of hours, and this is not it was not an intention for this particular webinar. So I'm gonna stop sharing. And yeah, you're welcome to ask me any questions. I hope at least you have a little bit of, I would say, glimpse how complicated it actually is, and how well and how easy potentially it could be when you just go one step at a time, one small step at a time.
Wonderful, Alex.
Thank you.
It was such an insightful presentation. It was resonating so much, you know, that how we get into paralysis, how we get into confusion, how we get into that shiny object syndrome. We end up taking multiple courses, you know, trying to tie all the ends together.
True.
So it resonated so strongly. People are appreciating a lot of compliments and a lot of questions coming in as well. Quite informative. And common question that is coming is, can you share an example of converting the offering into a product?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. We designed so many websites, and all my students we are kind of ending designing. Yeah, I will be using some terminology. I will put it this way. As soon as you identified your target audience, as soon as you go narrow and decided what problem you'll start, please, guys, remember, when you are going narrow, it's not like you are losing any other options. You will never be able to work in any other. No, I'm talking about entering into the market and start earning money already. Because after that, you create another program or another offer, you could target multiple other niches. As a result, you could go broad. But first step is always supposed to be narrow. And as soon as you identify the problem and the target audience, you will be creating core offer. We call it core offer. Core offer is not a highest price. It's not a lowest. It's almost like your essential one, the main one. As soon as we realize what your core offer is, that's how you will start, I would say, design the conversion process. Because from your core offer, we are extracting tiny, small thing. I would say, I will give you example. My core offer is, I call it Headway Coaching Business Lab. It's 33 steps. And it's subscription based. So my core offer, the cost is 67 euro per month. It's subscription based. Everyone actually can go as fast as they want or as slow as they want. I will explain later, kind of, if we have time. But after I have my core offer, I was thinking, like, how conversion happens? Well, my core offer covering the whole entire business building process. But I know that majority of people, for example, they just want a website. I take from my core offer one particular specific issue. For example, how to find right images for your coaching business website. Nice, right? I mean, this is just a tiny piece of what we will be doing in my core offer, but I am giving that as a PDF file for free. So what happens as a result? Well, lots of coaches like sitting and thinking, wow, how can I design what would be my first step to design a website? And I am giving them PDF. Would you like to know what would be the most impactful images, for your coaching website, if you would like to have, your website kind of converting power? And coaches thinking, well, I do want to have this. Oh, it's free? Okay, then please. This is where I am creating lead magnet. And this is the term, kind of marketing term. Lead magnet, it's extraction from your core offer, but tiny. It's answering just one specific question which your target audience has. Very specific. The more specific, the more power that lead magnet has. and I'm throwing that, that lead magnet all over social media. And of course, it's almost like imagine that you are a fisherman and you are throwing before you start. Sorry for kind of metaphor, but before you start catching the fish, you are throwing bread, right, in the water, and they are coming, and they are already getting value, and they like what they get, and you're answering their questions, you're already helping them, and that's how they learn about you. And if they like what you give them, they actually give you, because you're asking actually for their email address. In order to then download that PDF, I'm asking for email address. And that's the first thing which happens on your website. Your website's supposed to have a multiple extractions which are answering very specific questions, which are become a lead magnet, and you're supposed to give them for free in a very strategic way. As a result, you are building enormous, we call it mailing list. Now you have thousands and thousands of potential clients. You know that they're interested in exactly what you will be selling, and you are moving them slowly towards conversion, towards actually buying your core offer. So your relationship started. I don't know if it makes sense.
Absolutely. So basically, you're saying that a product is a part of your overall offer.
Yeah.
It's like a lead magnet. So it is like,
Precisely.
The more you can have it powerful, the more it will attract your target audience.
Precisely. Right now, example, if you go to, I don't know, my Headway Coaching Group website, and you will see, guys, would you like to download custom avatar template? Would you like to download a business model template? It's free. That's a lead magnet.
Right.
So you would think like, okay, I want, but yeah, well, I will ask for your email address. And after that, I will start communicating, explaining, my other kind of value, which my offers can. This is how conversion kind of starts. And this is, I hope I answered your question.
So Alex, another question is your take on developmental coaching versus remedial coaching.
Sorry, could you please repeat it? Versus what?
Developmental coaching versus remedial coaching.
Remedial. Remedial coaching. Huh. Well, yeah. Now we could be confused with lots of terminologies. Well, let's define what is what. I mean, because to be honest, right now there are lots of confusion. The areas are kind of blending a lot. I am ICF coach. I know where coaching become not coaching, become kind of therapy, or I understand there are kind of zones where if you follow pure ICF kind of coaching style, you need to be aware and you need to explain to your client what you do and what you don't do. But we need to define what remedial is, because, for example, let me tell you, if I am a coach who decided that I will be specializing on a relationship, and for example, I would say I will be specializing on a relationship in families, I could still follow precisely coaching methodology, but because I am positioning myself from the beginning in that area, I could already use specific language. I could already use my website kind of pointing certain specific problems. It doesn't, I would say, it doesn't diminish me as a coach. I could be still using pure coaching methodology. I don't know if I answered my question. Remedial sounds like a remedies. Well, to be honest, coaching is a remedy. Seriously. As soon as coaching is solution to something, in my mind, it's remedy. I don't know. We need to kind of define what do you mean by remedy.
Absolutely.
It is remedy.
So probably the person was asking is like, if the coach is providing a solution or coach is providing, because then that is not a coaching at all.
Yes, well, I mean, coaching is a solution. So yes. It's like, yes, we don't tell people what to do. but by communicating with coach, they are having solution. Of course, coach initiate, like how to say it, we are finding resources within client. But as a result, let's say, before client met the coach, he didn't have solution, right? At least in his mind.
Yes.
After he worked with coach, the client has solution. So tell me, please, was coaching a solution or not?
Sure, absolutely.
It's just the way, yeah. The coach was kind of catalysator, or yeah, someone which helped client to find solution. But to be honest, I honestly believe that we don't need to emphasize and how to say, to work too much on educating our clients, because otherwise we will switch to the selling methodology, and this is dangerous because clients, guys, please remember, clients don't care. I mean, you are passionate about coaching, I understand, but clients usually don't care about, is it coaching, is it voodoo, wushu, shushu? Seriously, it doesn't matter. They want to solve the problem. So you need, please talk their language. Stop selling methodology. They don't care.
True.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex, for that. Another question is, what is the gestation period of getting a client?
Could you please, getting client, I missed the first
what
few
is the
words.
gestation period of getting a client? How much time does it usually take to get the client, to start getting clients?
Okay, in terms of time. Well, this is so different for everyone. I mean, really different, because I know coaches who are next day, literally out of their coaching school, they already able to find some clients, even they don't even have a website. It depends on many factors. I mean, it depends of your, I would say, personality. It depends how easy you are with communicating the value. It depends on how precise are you, what value of your coaching to the client is. I mean, it's lots of factors. In marketing, we call it I don't know, pitch elevator kind of. If you are able articulate what value you are bringing to your client, if you know exactly who you are targeting, and if you are easy with the process of explaining it, and you are very clear in your head, it's enormously increasing your speed, how you could get clients. I mean, right now, one of our students, I know, she was graduated 2 weeks ago. She has 3 clients already. I mean, but she has an outgoing personality, and she's very clear. Yeah, she's positioning herself kind of very quickly, what she knows what to do. So there are lots of factors involved.
So in your experience, yes, Alex, what has been the longest period? So 2 weeks is the shortest period. So what has been the longest one?
Sorry, something fell. Well, the shortest period, literally, I had cases when people get clients already still being in the course. They're not even certified yet. So that was the fastest, I would say. And the longest, well, I mean, yeah, I know people who graduated from certification courses, and they for years and years, they actually never had clients. But to be honest, I don't think we need to, the point is that they just not, how to say, they were not able or not willing to do the steps. I mean, like, as soon as you are proactive, as soon as you spend time and energy of doing the steps towards finding clients, it's inevitable. You will get clients. And how fast and how long, it's entirely depends on you. And actually also depends on the body of knowledge which you know in regards to how to find clients. I think number like 3-4 years, probably that would be the worst scenario. But I don't know, is it a good example? People just don't do anything towards finding clients. I mean, of course, you could have I don't know, decades of not having clients if you don't do anything. I mean,
just on a similar line, there's another question, Alex, as to how long does it take to break even on the investment that is made in setting up a coaching business, And when do we know, okay, this is really not going to work? Well, is there any point in the journey where you can put a break, or you say, no, it's not going to move forward? So is there something like that?
Good question. And again, it would be kind of, unfortunately, unfortunately, even though I am a scientist in the past, and I cannot give you numbers. Why? Because, for example, it depends on what investment you are actually referring to. Why I'm telling you. I graduated from coaching school in London, which required 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what your school is. My investment was, I supposed to travel from Switzerland to London every month for a week. And so I have modules and modules. First, it was an NLP practitioner. Then it was master NLP. Then on the top of that, I was able to enter into the NLP coach course. So 2.5 years of traveling, hotels, and learning. My investment was, I think, 17,000 pounds. I don't know, it's more than $20,000. So this is, I don't know your investment, because right now you probably can graduate it kind of from the course which lasts several months and with investment $1,000. I mean, there are different types of investments and, kind of exist. And even right now, there is a huge range of different schools and different investments. And this is one kind of aspect, which that's why I cannot tell you exactly. Second thing is, in my case, literally after graduation of my school, I had in the first 2 months, I had already my first 2 clients. And the price which I was charging them at that point, my very, very first price, it was 160 pounds, so around $200 per session I was charging immediately. So I don't know, maybe other coaches don't have that kind of confidence to do that. In my case, I did have confidence. Why? Because I had, I don't know, 25 years of entrepreneurial experience already. When I graduated through my coaching course, my first clients were business people, entrepreneurs. So for me, it's totally no problem to charge, and I feel confident doing that. So it's so individual. It depends on many, many factors. And as a result, in my case, even though investment was quite high, like 1 year later, I was already ICF, so I had my hours, and I already started to do mentoring. And as you know, mentoring of other coaches, it's actually quite expensive. So I got my, I would say, return on investment, maybe in the first 1.5, 2 years. I already got my kind of $20,000 investment back. In my case, it's very individual. I have no idea kind of with other coaches. And
so participant is asking if you could please tell us the dollar per lead and dollar per converted customer you typically spend in SEO or paid advertisement. So basically, how much should you
dollar per lead? Wow, this is very specific. This is extremely well. First of all, it depends. Yeah, I mean, this is a super specific question, because when you already have core offer, when you already have a website, when you already have a product, when you already have a lead magnet, all conversion funnel, then you create advertising kind of, and you start doing it through for example, Facebook. By the way, cost per lead will be very different for like a Google platform or what kind of platform do you use. If you use a LinkedIn, it's kind of terrible. It's super expensive. I dropped that whole thing. I tried several times. I don't do it anymore. So again, you see, you ask a question, but my answer, it depends. I mean, it totally depends on many, many factors. Facebook has one cost per lead, and again, you could optimize it. It depends on your region. It depends on the target audience. If you are targeting India, it's going to be one cost per lead. If you target in the United States, kind of California, wow, it will be 25 times higher. So even though your question is specific, I cannot answer. I mean, it's impossible.
On the platform. It will depend upon whether you're using Facebook, whether you're using Google. Google will be much different than your Facebook.
who you are targeting, and yeah, there are lots of parameters, because there are campaign where you are beating, or there are campaign where your cost per click. There are lots of different kind of types of campaigns, which you could. It depends on too many factors. So there is no straight answer here.
Yeah, Alex, in the interest of time, I'll just take one last question.
Yeah.
And the question is, which are those geographies or the niche areas in the world of coaching which are very much in demand according to you?
Which areas?
Yes.
Well, right now, guys, it's coaching extremely dynamic kind of field. And I think enormous shift happened in the last, pandemic kind of last 1.5 years. So people have, to be honest, for coaching right now, I'm sorry to say it, but it's golden time. Why? Because people need help a lot. People need psychological help. People are depressed. People have anxiety. People are locked in homes. People are having a relationship issue, parenting issue. They're working from home, productivity issue. Companies wow. Right now, like whatever you put your finger in, it's on demand. And if you take, for example, some of the coaching platforms, 3 years ago, they were barely kind of doing something. Right now, if you look on the Better App, or Coach Fox or Coach Hub or all those platforms, they become multi-billion-dollar companies. Why do you think is that? It's enormous demand. So if you are specializing in well-being, helping people to cope with the issues related to, I don't know, parenting, relationship, or, for example, or productivity, or anxiety, anxiety you need to be careful, because, ICF, it's not really, it's on the border with therapy. I would be careful there. But for me personally, I'm an NLP coach, and NLP is actually stepping slightly kind of out of normal coaching definition. So me personally, I have no problem stepping out, but I always define with my client, okay, here is not a coaching. If you would like to have a therapy session, I am qualified. But if you are just a coach, yeah, you need to be careful in terms of anxiety or depression, because this is not our area for coaching. But don't worry, because there are hundreds of different other areas which are pure coaching, and it's all on demand right now.
All right. Great. Thank you so much, Alex, for this wonderful session, and so insightful and so excited. I'm sure the way the comments are pouring in the chat box and the compliments are coming in, people are really, really excited, and they will all be visiting your website to check out what are the templates available, what are the offers available. Thank you so much. It was very, very wonderful session. So for people,
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting. Yeah, thank you for inviting me, and it's pleasure anytime. So I'm very happy that I could help Coach to Transform, or Coach to Transformation company to help their customers. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Alex. And for people who are attending here, I have posted the link for the CCUs in the chat box. Kindly copy paste the link, save it, and submit your form in the next 24 hours.
Thank you.
It's there in the link. Thank you. Thank you, Alex.